Hello, and this is Top for Glory, episode 224. We are about 24 hours. About 24 hours removed off of New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis. I don't know what city they were in. We are, I guess, going head to head with Friday Night SmackDown. So there's your ratings wars. We are 48 hours away from a dynasty, an all elite dynasty, if you will. You guys already know the whole deal. Where there's wrestling, where there's a podcast, there is wrestling. And when you put those two things together, it is Talk for Glory. So here to bring you the AEW Dynasty Predictions is me, Enigma V4, because introductions are always a must. Did that sound a little different than my usual intro? Probably. I don't memorize these. Some of you guys do. I fucking love you guys that do. But let's talk about some matches. Actually, before I even dive headfirst into this, I'm going to Dynasty. So you guys aren't just getting predictions. You guys just aren't getting gameplay. You guys aren't just getting a review. You guys are possibly even getting entrances. So enjoy all the things that Talk for Glory will be uploading because it is April. And April is a stacked month. So if you guys aren't happy with Dynasty, that's okay. Be okay with Sakura Genesis. If you guys aren't okay with Sakura Genesis, be okay with AEW's Windy City Riot. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Windy City Riot. If you guys aren't okay with Windy City Riot, I don't give a fuck because there's two shows that you must be excited for. One is Stardom's All-Star Grand Queendom, whether that's here on YouTube or on Spotify. You guys are going to be listening, and I'll be appreciating. But what's coming to Talk for Glory is to showcase the Immortals. It's Wrestling Super Bowl. It is WrestleMania. So look forward to that. But before we get into that stuff, we're here. We're at Dynasty. We're at predictions. Let's dive into the matches. To start us off, we have in the Owen Hart Foundation 2025 Men's Tournament, our quarterfinals, so our openers, it is Mark Briscoe, so Kung Fu Chicken, versus the proto-star Kyle Fletcher. You know, I've already seen this match in the Continental Classics, and it was awesome. I had fun with it. I had so much fun with it. I'm okay with having it again. But this is a huge turnaround for Mark Briscoe because I do think he needs to get that revenge. He needs to one-up the score. Who knows? Maybe Kyle Fletcher's next feud is with Mark Briscoe. I mean, when it comes to Mark Briscoe, I don't think he sucks. He showed after the passing of his late great brother, Jay Briscoe, that he's a great singles guy. And Kyle Fletcher, who broke away from Aussie Open, but isn't against, reuniting it. He also shows that he is a great single star. But this is a one-on-one match, and I believe that where there's losers, there must be a winners, and the winner here is, I believe, the proto-star, Kyle Fletcher. Next is in the women's bracket, in a non-title match, so let's always keep that in the back of our mind, guys. It is Rev Pro Women's Champion, New Japan Strong Women's Champion, and AEW TBS Champion, the CEO, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, call it whatever the hell you guys want, versus representing the Hounds of Hell, the Princess of the Throne, Julia Hart. I'm pretty sure we were supposed to get this match last year for the TBS Championship. But hey, let's make up for lost times. And I would be lying to you guys if I said I wasn't excited for this match. As you guys know, I am a big Julia Hart fan. Hell, I'm a huge House of Black or Hounds of Hell, whatever you guys want to call that group. I'm a big fan of them. And even though I don't think she wins this, I think this match does wonders for her. I think Julia Hart will really have a great showing in this match. If anything, maybe after this, win, lose, draw, possibly we get Julia Hart versus Toni Storm somewhere down the line. How do you guys feel about that? Actually, how do you guys feel about this dream match? A nightmare in Hollywood, if you will. Julia Hart versus Toni Storm in a cinematic Hollywood theater movie. For some reason, I believe that Julia Hart and Toni Storm will put on a really fun, really cool cinematic match where it can take place in a movie theater. But just me spitballing. But be on no, I got Sasha Banks winning this, Mercedes Moné, the CEO, the legit boss, whatever. Because we're on a collision course, guys. Speaking of collision, there's also a special tag match tomorrow. I won't be watching that, but I know it'll be there. Next, let's move on to the final match of AEW Dynasty's Owen Hart Foundation match. Man, that is such a mouthful. But it's Will Ospreay, Billy Goat, Commonwealth Kingpin, Aerial Assassin, Top for Glory's 2023 Superstar of the Year, Will Ospreay versus AEW's newest signing. He's taken off. Why? Because he is the Jet, Kevin Knight. There is so much I can say about this. I think in the perfect world, we were supposed to get this in like Best Super Juniors. But, just as Kevin Knight was coming into New Japan and coming into his own, and he was classified as a junior heavyweight, Will Ospreay was dominating the heavyweight division. So the match could never come to be, sadly. But now we are in a new era, a all-elite era. And now we get this match. One moment. And now we get this match in a all-elite setting. We get it at AEW Dynasty. And I think this, along with Kevin Knight's match against Jay White, hell, I think any match with Kevin Knight involving like former New Japan wrestlers is a form of his coming out party. Because if there's one thing a lot of wrestling fans love to do, you guys like to be owls. You like to go, who. Just shut up and watch. Because apparently saying Google it is offensive. So just shut up, watch, and enjoy Kevin Knight, guys. Because he's about to take off. Also, I did see this on Twitter where someone said that he should join Top Flight just for the whole airplane gimmick. Hell no. If you guys know, I've been pushing an agenda for quite some time now. Probably for about the last 6 to 8 months or so. And now that this man is all elite, I must ask you guys, would you guys like to see Kevin Knight join the Hurt Syndicate somewhere down the line before the year ends? I think MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley could use a third or maybe a fourth. Maybe they'll get 2 new members. But yeah, how do you guys feel about Kevin Knight in the Hurt Syndicate? Would you be for it or would you be against it? Now back to this match. Kevin Knight just got here. Ospreay is a man on a mission. He wants to be the guy. He wants to be on top. And there's only one way to get to the top, and that's through Kevin Knight. And that's why I have Aerial Assassin Will Ospreay going right past Kevin Knight. Now let's get into some championships. It is for the ROH Championship. It is Bandito versus Chris Jericho. This match has a really good story, and I think that the story being told here about, I don't care. Bandito wins next match. So now for the match I actually care about, it is AEW. It's for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It is the Hurt Syndicate Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with, of course, MVP walking down that ramp versus the Learning Tree's Big Cass. You know why? Because he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. And Brian Keith. You know, on paper, I was excited for this. But after Big Bill got roasted by MVP on the mic, I'm just looking forward to Bobby Lashley spearing both of them. Shelton Benjamin can literally just toy with Brian Keith for like 10 minutes. Because let's be real here, guys. Whether they're presented as much or you just see the match, the Hurt Syndicate's going to eat these two alive. Now, does that mean the match will be bad? Absolutely no. Sometimes the squash can be good. I think the Outrunners should have gotten squashed. But hopefully this is a learning experience for Big Bill and Brian Keith. And that lesson here to learn is that, yes, they do hurt people. On to the next match. It is for the AEW TNT Championship. No time limit. Honestly, God, you guys should make it no time limit, no DQ, no countouts. Like, make sure that there must be a winner. But it is defending champion, TNT champion, Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. Baby. I've enjoyed the best of 3 series that these two have had. Could it be better? A little bit. Honestly, for some reason, it feels as though Undisputed Era and damn, I forgot what the hell they call 2.0, I think. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Like 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, like these guys are supposed to collide, but you're not really feeling it. Maybe that's just because I'm not really seeing Daddy Magic like that. And Cool Hand, damn, I'm so used to calling him just Cool Hand. But I don't think we've just seen enough of them. But these two, yeah, these two are just going to go out there and put on a good wrestling match. I know a lot of people are saying that Adam Cole's losing a step. He's not hitting like he used to. And to a level, I kind of agree. But, you know, we all find our footings at different times. And I'm hoping that this, and also, if Adam Cole wins this match, this is his first championship since coming to AEW, which is fucking insane. I think Adam Cole should already be a former AEW World Champion. But hey, the TNT title is a great start. And who knows, maybe Adam Cole becomes our first ever AEW Grand Slam, because that's something in AEW that we have yet to have. And it's kind of funny that a lot of people say, oh, AEW has too many belts. I find it funny. I actually like that they have a lot of belts. Do you know how easy it is for people to become Grand Slam if you got like 4 belts? Like, I think AEW has like 8 or 9 belts, so you know that's kind of challenging. I like that. But yes, I have Adam Cole winning this. Daniel Garcia, you had a good run, man, but now go win those trios titles with 2.0. Now we're going down. Speaking of trios, it is for the AEW Trio Championship. It is the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, the Bastard Pack, and Wheeler Yuta versus Rated FTR. That being Cash Wheeler, Dax Hardwood, and the Rated R Superstar Edge. I know what you guys are thinking, guys. His name's I don't care. His name's Edge. And say what you want about the Death Rider storyline. My issues come from a lack of defending on the trios part. I think Mox does his part perfectly. Kind of losing me with the title and briefcase shit, but that's a different talk for a different day. These three, Pac, Yuta, and Cesaro, have been trio champions since All In, and I think I can only name you like 2 defenses. And that's honestly a problem for me because I, for one, actually enjoy trios defenses. And I did say this on my Instagram, guys, which plugging in the socials later, that around October to December, the tag team championships and all of wrestling kind of just flipped. And I need that for the trios titles now as well. We currently have that in Stardom. The New Japan trios titles need to flip, which hopefully does happen later tonight. Who else? Trying to remember all the places that have it. Oh, the ROH tag titles need to be flipped. Like someone else needs to win those. I know it's like Goldust, Sammy Guevara, and someone else are trios champions. And then obviously the AEW trios titles need to be flipped. Like someone else got to win those. Does that mean that I want Rated FTR to be the ones to finally win to take the titles off of them? Hell no. I just need the Revival to actually be great again, and I need Edge to, I guess, be part-time naturally instead of him being injured. Like, I'm okay if he's part-time and then, he has like 3-4 dream matches and then he goes back into part-time. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. But I just don't like seeing him get injured because it's like, god damn. Like, I bet you intended to have a 5-year run in AEW, but it feels like it can get shortened out to 2. But with that being said, that means I have the Death Riders retaining. And hopefully, God willing, they defend more. There are trios. There's 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. There's the Undisputed Era. There's the Hurt Syndicate when they get that third member. And then if you want to expand, you got a lot of working relations. You could do some trios defenses in New Japan. You could do some in CMLL. So just please give me something with those trios titles. But now it is, speaking of trios, it is time for the triple threat match that I believe is going to be the match of the night. It is for the AEW International Championship. It is Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey versus Ricochet versus arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of today, Kenny by God Omega. This is his first offense, and my God, will it slap? Will it go hard? Will it have the mana? Will it have the chills? Jokes aside, Ricochet is pretty fun to watch. After watching him so many times live in WWE, he's pretty cool. Mike Bailey, I don't know much about Mike Bailey outside of him being in Best of Super Juniors. Because, guys, if you guys have been long-time Talk for Glory fans, if you guys have been listening for, I want to say, the last 6 years, we don't watch TNA. We're not going to cover TNA. So the only introduction to Speedball I have is Best of Super Juniors. And whenever I talk to, and shout out here, Tommy from BTBC, and he gives me his 2 cents, his thoughts on Speedball Mike Bailey. So I don't know much. I haven't seen much. So hopefully, live and in person, I see the vision. I understand the vision. But does that mean I see a new champion? No, I do not, because Kenny Omega is just that damn good. Whether it be 1 or whether it be 2, I believe this man will retain. And I think Kenny Omega is going to go on a run similar to his IWGP United States Championship run with the International Championship. I really do think Kenny Omega is going to put his name on one of the greats when it comes to the International Championship. People like Orange Cassidy have held that belt. People like Will Ospreay have held that belt. People like Konosuke Takeshita have held that belt. People like Pac have held that belt. So I do think Kenny Omega retains this and goes on and just slowly writes his name as one of the greatest international champions that we've had ever. Now, time for the co-main event. It is for the AEW Women's Championship. It is a woman straight from the heavens, carved from Mount Olympus. She holds a kingdom that is purely divine. She knows an empress lives in that kingdom. It is Megan Bayne versus the greatest Hollywood act out there. Top for Glory's 2024 Superstar of the Year. She is timeless yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The TV stays black and white in this moment. It is timeless. Toni Storm. What can I say about this match? This is an underdog story match, and I love it. And you would think that Toni Storm can't be an underdog. You are absolutely wrong, because she is fighting a god among women. Megan Bayne is the ultimate challenge in women's wrestling going on. The domination that is Megan Bayne is going to be the hardest mountain that Toni Storm has ever climbed. And who knows? Maybe that Hollywood ending match isn't the worst match that Toni Storm's been a part of. The most physical, the most brutal. Because what do you do when someone's 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times stronger than you? The only thing Toni Storm can do is try and get lucky. But that's also why I believe that Toni Storm will retain, and she will go on to the big lights, that she'll be on her way to All In, and she will be waiting for her next challenger, that is the winner of the Owen Hart Cup. So yes, I have Toni Storm winning this, guys. Even though, mark my words, between now and next year, Megan Bayne will be AEW Women's Champion. All right, guys, we're about to hit the main event, guys. So thank you, everyone that will be listening to this. Thank you, everyone that's been here. Weeb, thank you for being here. Samoa Joe and the Hurt Syndicate, that's something. I appreciate everyone that will be listening to this. I appreciate everyone that will be going to Dynasty. Who knows? Maybe I might talk to one of you guys. But most importantly, I hope you guys do the most important thing when it comes to Talk for Glory, when it comes to these talks, when it comes to wrestling. That's follow the socials. So you guys already know to follow myself at Enigma_before_ on my Twitter, Smoove A1 on his Twitch. Hopefully he's here for WrestleMania, guys. Honest to God. I know you guys asked for him in the Discord. I read your Discord messages. Yeah, so Young Smooth TFG, that's his Twitter. Enigma_before, that's my Twitch. Enigma_before is my Instagram. Enigma _before_ is my Twitch. Smoove A1 is his Twitch. And then you guys can add us on Xbox. If you guys love gaming, so do we. So you guys can add me at Enigma V4, no spaces, and you guys can add Smoove on Smoove A1. And remember, guys, where there's a podcast, where there's wrestling, there is Talk for Glory. And I love how some of you guys memorize this. You guys are pretty cool. But like I said earlier, that there will be Stardom coverage. Maybe that be here, maybe that be Spotify. So you guys just have to make sure you guys follow the socials. But now it's time for the main event. It is for the AEW World Championship. It is defending champion Jon Moxley versus whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve Strickland. This might be the best told match in terms of we need a hero, we need a vigilante, we need someone that knows Mox's level. We need someone that knows what it's like to be Mox. We need someone who's not afraid to be like Mox. And here we have Swerve. Someone that can be just as sick, sadistic, just as much as a badass, a tryhard, everything under the sun, and maybe even worse. Swerve knows what it's like to be on top. Swerve knows what it feels like to have a group of guys behind him. Swerve knows what it's like to have the pressure on him. Around this time last year, we had Swerve versus Joe winning the. It wasn't against Joe, or maybe it was, but around this time last year, Swerve was chasing that title, and he was well on his way to trying to get it. And now we're at a point of Swerve getting it back, and hopefully he's on his way back to All In. And the only thing that's in his way is Jon Moxley and possibly the Death Riders. But like I said, Swerve knows what that's like. So possibly maybe he calls a couple people. Maybe Nana makes a couple calls. Who knows? Maybe we even get a unlikely helper in the Hangman. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Swerve and Hangman's encounter where Swerve said, I know I did you wrong. Maybe I know it's just a couple letters off from I'm sorry. But that's all saying if Swerve is to win. But is that the case? No, because I actually have Jon Moxley winning this, sadly. And I think Jon Moxley's at least holding this thing until All In. Or if they got the right name, if they got the right match, if they build it correctly. Maybe it's at Forbidden Door he loses. I don't know. But, yeah, I have Jon Moxley winning this. I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely hope I'm wrong. But, guys, that was everything. That was AEW Dynasty Predictions of 2025. You guys got New Japan Pro Wrestling Dynasty for January, so I hope you guys enjoy both. I hope you guys are going to Philadelphia as well. I hope you guys enjoy AEW. But if you guys have no more comments, no more questions, no more concerns, there's only one last thing that you guys can do, and that's just stay safe, have a great day and or night, and most importantly, because that's Hartford Way's message here, just enjoy wrestling, guys.